Welcome to J10 English Podcast.
Hey there, beautiful people. Welcome back to the J10 Podcast. I'm Sophie, and I'm so happy you're here with us today.
And I'm Ethan. You know what? I was just thinking this morning. Learning English can sometimes feel like solving a puzzle, right?
Oh, absolutely. And today, we're going to help you solve one of the trickiest parts of that puzzle, idioms.
Yeah, idioms. Those weird phrases that make no sense if you translate them word by word. Like, why do we say someone is on cloud nine when they're clearly standing on the ground?
Exactly. And that's what makes English so interesting and, well, sometimes confusing. But don't worry. By the end of today's episode, these idioms will feel like old friends.
That's right. We've picked the most common idioms that you'll hear in movies, TV shows, and everyday conversations. These aren't the boring ones from textbooks that nobody actually uses.
Nope, these are the real deal. The ones that will make you think, oh, now I understand what they meant. So grab a cup of coffee, tea, or whatever makes you happy, and let's dive in.
All right, Sophie, let's start with your favorite one. What was it again?
On cloud nine. Okay, close your eyes for a second. Picture a fluffy white cloud high up in the sky. Now imagine you're sitting on it, floating peacefully.
Sounds nice. Very relaxing.
Right? But here's the thing. When we say someone is on cloud nine, we mean they're extremely happy, like super, super happy about something.
Can you give us an example, Sophie?
Sure. Last month, I finally got my driver's license after failing the test twice. When I passed, I was on cloud nine for days. I couldn't stop smiling. I called my mom, my sister, even my neighbor.
I remember that. You were practically bouncing around the office. And you know what? When my football team won their first game after losing for months, I was on cloud nine too. I even bought pizza for strangers.
That's so you, Ethan. So remember, friends, on cloud nine equals extremely happy. Got it?
Okay, here's one that confused me for years. Beat around the bush.
Oh, this is a good one. When I first heard it, I imagined someone walking in circles around a bush with a big stick, just hitting the air but never actually touching the bush.
That's actually a pretty good picture. But the real meaning is about avoiding the main point in a conversation. It's like you ask a simple question, but the person gives you a long, complicated answer that doesn't really answer anything.
Yes. Like imagine I ask my roommate, "Did you eat my chocolate that was in the fridge?"
And instead of just saying yes or no, she says,
Well, I was so tired after work and I was looking for something healthy to eat, but then I remembered this article about sugar. And actually, speaking of articles, did you see that new movie that just came out?
exactly. Stop beating around the bush. Just tell me if you ate my chocolate.
Right? So when someone is beating around the bush, they're not giving you a straight answer. They're avoiding the real question. Okay, here's a gentle way to say you don't like something. Not my cup of tea.
This one's pretty easy to remember because we all know what tea is, right?
Exactly. So if something is not your cup of tea, it means it's not your style or you don't enjoy it. It's a polite way to say no thanks to something.
For example, my friends love going to loud nightclubs with crazy music and flashing lights, but honestly, that's not my cup of tea. I prefer quiet places where we can actually talk to each other.
Oh, that's sweet, Ethan. For me, horror movies are not my cup of tea. I know some people love getting scared, but I'd rather watch something funny or romantic. Life is scary enough already.
That's so true. The great thing about this idiom is that it's not rude. You're not saying something is bad. You're just saying it's not for you.
Now here's one of the sweetest idioms in English. Apple of my eye.
When I first heard this, I thought, why would someone have an apple in their eye? That sounds painful.
I know, right? But it actually means someone who is very special to you, someone you love and treasure more than anything.
It's usually used for people who are really important in your life.
My little nephew Charlie is the apple of my eye. He's only 5 years old, and he makes me smile even when he's being naughty. Last week, he drew a beautiful picture on my white wall with his crayons. Was I upset? For about 2 seconds, but then he hugged me and said, "I made our house prettier, Aunt Sophie."
How could you be mad at that? For me, it's my dog Bruno. I know it sounds silly, but that little guy is the apple of my eye. He destroyed my favorite shoes last month, but when he looked at me with those big brown eyes, I just couldn't stay angry.
Here's one that describes a very useful type of person. Jack of all trades.
Ooh, this sounds like it's about someone named Jack who sells things, right?
That's what I thought too. But actually, a jack of all trades is someone who can do many different things well. They have lots of different skills.
Like my dad. He can fix cars, cook amazing pasta, paint houses, play guitar, and even cut hair. Whenever we have a problem at home, we call Dad.
That's awesome! My neighbor, Mr. Kim, is like that too. Last month, he helped me fix my computer, then taught me how to make Korean soup, and then helped me paint my bedroom, all in one day.
Wow, these people are so helpful to have around.
But, there's also a full saying. Jack of all trades, master of none. It means that sometimes when you do many things, you might not be an expert at any of them.
That's true, but honestly, I think being good at many things is still pretty amazing.
Speaking of being tired after a long day, hit the sack.
This one sounds violent, doesn't it? Like you're punching a big bag or something.
Right? But it just means go to bed or go to sleep. It's a casual, fun way to say it.
I think it comes from old times when people slept on sacks filled with straw instead of nice mattresses.
That makes sense. So instead of saying, I'm going to bed, which is perfectly fine, by the way, you can say, I'm going to hit the sack.
Like right now, I'm so tired from recording 3 podcasts today. After we finish here, I'm definitely going to hit the sack early.
Same here. It's been a long day, and my bed is calling my name. But sometimes we can't hit the sack early because we're burning the midnight oil.
This is such a beautiful idiom. It takes us back to old times when people didn't have electric lights.
Exactly. They used oil lamps to see at night. So if you were burning the midnight oil, you were staying up very late, working or studying by the light of your oil lamp.
Now we just use electric lights, but we still use this phrase when we stay up late to work or study.
I was burning the midnight oil last week, preparing for today's episode. I wanted everything to be perfect for you guys.
Aw, that's so sweet, Ethan. I do that too when I'm writing new lessons. Sometimes I look up and realize it's 2 a.m.
Yeah, time flies when you're focused on something important. But remember, everyone, don't burn the midnight oil too often. Sleep is important too.
Here's one that's about sharing secrets. Spill the beans.
When I was a kid, I thought this meant accidentally dropping beans on the floor during dinner.
That would be messy. But actually, spill the beans means to tell a secret, usually by accident.
Like when someone is planning a surprise party and someone else accidentally tells the person about it?
Yes. Actually, Ethan, you spilled the beans about my friend's surprise birthday party last month.
Oh no, I did, didn't I? I thought she already knew. I said, "Are you excited about your party on Saturday?" And she looked at me like I was crazy.
Her face was priceless. But it's okay. She pretended to be surprised anyway. She's a good friend.
Lesson learned, think before you speak, especially about surprises.
Here's one for things that don't happen very often. Once in a blue moon.
I love this one because it sounds so magical. A blue moon.
It does, but the moon doesn't actually turn blue very often. That's the point. So, once in a blue moon means something that happens very rarely.
Like me cooking a fancy dinner. Once in a blue moon, I'll spend 3 hours making something special. But usually it's just sandwiches and instant noodles for me.
For me, it's cleaning my car. I always tell myself I'll wash it every week, but honestly, I clean my car once in a blue moon. Maybe every 3 months if I'm lucky.
We should probably do these things more often, but at least we're honest about it.
Now here's something we say to wish people good luck. Break a leg.
This one scared me the first time I heard it. I thought someone was wishing something terrible would happen to me.
I know, right? It sounds so mean, doesn't it? But it actually means good luck. We often say it to actors before they go on stage or to anyone before they do something important.
Like before a job interview, a test, or a big presentation.
Right. Last week, my friend's job interview, I texted her, break a leg. She texted back, thank you, with happy emojis.
And she got the job.
She did. Now, I don't know if saying break a leg helped, but it definitely didn't hurt. When you're feeling sick, you can say you're under the weather.
This is such a gentle way to say you don't feel well. It sounds much nicer than I feel terrible.
Right. And it doesn't mean you're standing outside in the rain. It just means you're a bit sick or not feeling your best. I used this yesterday when my boss asked why I looked tired. I said, I'm a bit under the weather today. It's professional, but also lets people know you're not at 100%.
It's perfect for work situations or when you don't want to give too many details about how you feel.
Here's a funny one about death. Kick the bucket.
This is definitely one of the stranger idioms in English.
It really is. When something or someone dies, sometimes people say they kicked the bucket. It's usually for things, not people.
Like, my old computer finally kicked the bucket after 8 years. It just wouldn't turn on anymore.
Or, my car kicked the bucket yesterday. I need to buy a new one. It's a casual way to talk about something breaking or dying.
It makes sad things sound a little less serious, which can sometimes help.
When we're ready to stop working for the day, we call it a day.
This is so useful for work situations. Instead of just saying, I'm done, you can say, let's call it a day.
It sounds more professional and natural. Like, after working on this podcast script for 4 hours, we might say, okay, let's call it a day. We can finish tomorrow.
Exactly. It means you've worked enough for today and it's time to stop.
Things that happen out of the blue happen suddenly with no warning.
Like when my childhood friend called me last week after not talking for 5 years. It was completely out of the blue.
Oh, wow. That must have been such a surprise. Good surprise, I hope?
The best kind. We talked for 2 hours and caught up on everything. Sometimes the best things happen out of the blue.
That's so true. Life has a way of surprising us when we least expect it.
If someone tells you to hold your horses, they want you to slow down and be patient.
I always picture someone literally holding on to horses when I hear this.
Same, but it just means wait a minute or slow down. Like if you're rushing to make a decision, someone might say, hold your horses, let's think about this first.
My mom says this to me all the time when I get excited about something and start talking really fast. Hold your horses, Sophie. Slow down and explain it properly.
Moms are great at keeping us grounded, aren't they?
When you throw in the towel, you give up on something.
This one comes from boxing. When a boxer is losing badly, their coach throws a towel into the ring to stop the fight.
So now we use it in everyday life when we stop trying to do something because it's too difficult.
Like, I was trying to learn how to play the guitar for months, but I finally threw in the towel. My neighbors were probably happy about that.
Oh no! Maybe you just needed a different approach. Sometimes it's okay to take a break instead of giving up completely.
You're right. Maybe I'll try again someday.
If you can't sit still because you're excited or nervous, you have ants in your pants.
What a funny picture. Imagine actually having ants crawling around in your clothes.
That would be terrible. But when we say someone has ants in their pants, we mean they can't stop moving because they're excited, nervous, or impatient.
Like kids on Christmas morning, or students waiting for test results.
Or me, when I'm waiting for my pizza delivery, I keep checking the window every 2 minutes.
That's definitely having ants in your pants.
When someone says exactly the right thing, they hit the nail on the head. This is about being perfectly correct or accurate about something.
Like when you're trying to explain a problem to someone and they immediately understand and say exactly what you were thinking.
Yes. Last week, I was feeling stressed but couldn't figure out why. My sister said, "You're worried about the presentation next week, aren't you?" She totally hit the nail on the head.
It's such a good feeling when someone understands you that well.
If you're listening very carefully to someone, you're all ears.
I love this one because it creates such a clear picture. You're so focused on listening that it's like your whole body is just ears.
Exactly. When my grandmother tells stories about her childhood, I'm all ears. Her stories are so interesting, and I don't want to miss a single detail.
That's beautiful, Sophie. It shows that you really care about what she has to say.
I do. And you know what? When we tell people we're all ears, it makes them feel important and heard.
Finally, let's talk about how to break the ice.
No hammers needed for this one.
Right. Breaking the ice means starting a friendly conversation, especially when meeting new people or in awkward situations.
It's about making everyone feel more comfortable and relaxed.
Like telling a light joke at the beginning of a meeting, or asking someone about their weekend when you first meet them.
I always try to break the ice by complimenting something, like someone's shirt or asking about their coffee. It usually works.
Those small conversations can lead to great friendships.
And there we have it, some of the most useful idioms in English.
You know what, Sophie? I'm really proud of this episode. These idioms are like secret keys that unlock so much of English conversation.
I couldn't agree more. And I want to say something to everyone listening. Don't worry if you don't remember all of these today. Learning idioms takes time.
Absolutely. Start by picking 2 or 3 that you like and try to notice them in movies or conversations. Once you feel comfortable with those, you can learn more.
And remember, you don't have to use all of them right away. Just understanding them when you hear them is a huge step forward.
Sophie's right. Sometimes I meet English learners who understand everything in a conversation except for 1 or 2 idioms, and that can be really frustrating.
Exactly. But now you have the tools to understand so much more. Movies will make more sense, conversations with native speakers will be clearer, and you might even surprise yourself by using some of these naturally.
Before we go, we want to hear from you. Which idiom was your favorite today? Are there any that you've heard before but never understood?
Yes, and if you'd like us to do another episode with even more idioms, maybe some funny ones or ones about food or relationships, just let us know in the comments. We'd love your feedback.
Also, if you found this helpful, please share it with your friends who are learning English. Learning is always more fun when you do it together.
And as always, be patient with yourself. Learning a language is like growing a garden. It takes time, but the results are so beautiful.
This is the J10 podcast, where you can learn English while learning about life. Thank you for spending your time with us today. Your English journey is inspiring, and we're honored to be part of it.
Keep practicing, keep smiling, and remember, every small step forward is still progress.
Until next time, take care of yourselves.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.